Welcome to Artisphere, presented by TD Bank, the virtual experience. I'm Ninja Picasso, and this art lab demonstration is sponsored by WCM Global Wealth. Welcome to Wild Style Graffiti Basics with Ninja Picasso. I'm going to go over some basics into 6 steps, starting with the first one. Step 1 is the black book phase, and you're going to need a notebook for this. You can take any type of pencil, crayon, or any kind of black marker to work on this phase. This is all about the imagination process of creating your graffiti. So take any inspiration that you can in your room, if you're outside, pick up your inspiration from what you see and just draw them. This phase can take 30 minutes to an hour to complete, but it can actually go a little longer depending on how much you spend into this step. So now we're on the step 2 phase of the Wild Style Graffiti class. And now we're gonna get into the visualization process and the outline of doing your graffiti piece. I picked a truck because it was challenging, but also because it gave a really cool shape, like a box. So I visualized the word hard time, but you can use any type of lettering or any type of shape that you feel comfortable in trying. It's okay if your lines cross each other. It's perfectly okay because we're using a light color here. This is just the outline. We just want to be very, very loose with this. Feel free to mess up, it's okay. But once you feel confident, it's time to move to step 3. Step 3 is the fill-in phase. This phase takes a little bit longer than all the other steps because this is the baseline of your graffiti piece. I picked certain colors to start with using orange, pink, and purple. I also use green for 3D shading, but you don't have to use this step. Once you have all the pieces together, it's time to go ahead and do the fill-in. So I picked this really, really bright pink color because I wanted to have a really good glow without it being too bright. I wanted to save my white color for last. So as I'm spray painting, I'm noticing I only have one can, so I want to make sure it's even. I'm moving on the left and I'm moving on the right to pull myself back to the middle. Once my white or my pink is working pretty good, I go ahead and switch over to orange. I have this really, really deep orange color that's gonna give it a glow. Once it's filled in, I move on to my next color, which is a darker pink. This pink is kind of hot, so it sticks out like a neon color. Once all these steps are done and you're pretty satisfied with your fill-in, it's time to move on to step 4. With this step here, this is all about the glow, figuring out where your light source is going to be coming from. I decided to have it in the middle, so I'm gonna take this white spray can and go all the way to the center to really intensify where the light is going to be. Welcome to step 5. This phase is very important, but also very fun. So you wanna take your time with this step. You're gonna use a special type of cap for this called the skinny cap. It's different than the fat cap because the fat cap spreads widely and quickly, but the skinny cap will give you a little more precision. Once you're satisfied with this step, it's time to move on to the last and final step, which is step 6. And this is just the clean and refine phase. So you go back to any of the steps I showed in this tutorial and just play with it until it works for you. You know it'll look clean when your shapes are inside of the outlines, and if you decided to go with the glow, it's just an added effect to give it some extra pop. This is basic wild style graffiti, so use any kind of letters you want. We used an 8-letter word, which was hard time, but you can use any word that you like to try with this style. Thank you for joining me. For more information about my work, you can find me on Instagram at artistninjap. Thanks again to our sponsor, WCM Global Wealth. Please enjoy the rest of your visit at Artisphere presented by TD Bank, the virtual experience.